My name's Callum Preston. I'm an artist from Melbourne, Australia. I've had a lot of different jobs, which has led me to here. This is The Shack. It's my studio, design office, workshop, and it's where I do my job day to day. I'm inviting talented people to come in and chat about all things work and jobs, and to perform just for you, live here in my studio. This is The Shack Sessions. Joining me today is Skyscraper Stan. Stan, thanks for coming down, man.
Thanks for having me.
Tell me a little bit about your work history.
I mean, I've done my share of washing dishes, making bad coffee. I've never been good at that.
Yeah.
A lot of manual labour. The job that I've held the longest, bill posting, driving around at night, gluing paper to walls.
Have you been in the situation of pasting up yourself, your own promotional poster?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
So has anyone ever come along and seen that and looked at you?
No, thankfully I've gotten away with that thus far. I started playing originally because of my job.
Okay.
I was a bus boy. There was a co-worker who overheard me singing while I was cleaning up. We all went for after-work drinks. I think I just turned 18 and they got me very drunk and there was a guitar up on stage. I think they were trying to take the piss out of me. They got me up on stage and made me sing some songs.
So they thought that you would fail, but you didn't.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what they thought.
Right.
And I proved them wrong.
Yeah.
Not really. I think it was pretty woeful, to be honest. There was this guy called, he played under the name Storehouse Blues. He was playing every Sunday, 3 sets every Sunday. The boss man chucked me on in between sets. I guess because he didn't have to pay me any extra money to
You were
play.
already on shift.
I was already on the books. I would be washing dishes and then I'd run in and I'd play for 15 minutes. And then he'd come back on, do another set, and I'd go back to washing dishes.
We haven't had that before, like someone's job leading them into performing. Normally they're performing in spite of their job, trying to get away from it.
I never had any plans to play live until I was told that I had to.
Until it became part of your shift duties.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the career path that has passed you by, but in the back of your mind it sort of sits there?
A 19th century naturalist.
Right.
Yeah.
And what does that entail?
Travelling around the world, preferably on a tall ship, with a whole lot of sort of like brass instruments and stuff, and collecting critters for science, documenting the flora and fauna of exotic places.
Sounds like a good life.
Yeah, it would be great.
So if it was 19th century, there was no skyscrapers, what would they be calling you?
Oh, that's a really good idea. Flagpole?
Yeah. Flagpole Stan?
It doesn't have the alliteration. I don't like it as much.
No.
I don't know. Smokestack? They would have had smokestack Stan.
It's not bad.
That's better. It was down at the corner cafe that we first were introduced by a mutual acquaintance who was known to be bad news. I said to him, "Good evening." He gave to me his name. I asked him what it was he did. He asked of me the same. Then he whispered as he shook my hand, "I'm a man misunderstood, you understand." We stepped out into the courtyard where he offered me a smoke. I'll admit I was impressed at how he eloquently spoke. He said he knew someone who had some cards to play. If the proper time and place were chosen, money might be made. It's then I realized he had a plan. That man misunderstood, you understand. Well, the night was like a blanket and the moon was like a bone. In the feeble light it seemed just like his face was cut from stone. I couldn't hide my curiosity. I needed to know exactly what he planned to do and how I was involved. He said, "Follow me. Keep up if you can. I'm a man misunderstood, you understand." We went walking over Bluestone, behind the busy streets, where the city slickers stumbled to a syncopated beat. A thick, unyielding tempo that shook them like a doll and sent them reeling through the evening, looking for someone to hold until the morning, when they'd wake and wash their hands. Of that man misunderstood, you understand. He said, "This world of ours is wayward, It's a dirty, rotten mess, but you and I are different. We're better than the rest. He told me if we took the high road, we'd rise above it all. Looking back, I'd say his flattery was all that made me fall, forgiving everything I had. To that man misunderstood, you understand. We wasted no time waiting. We had reason to believe the people needed saving, and their savior was me. So we hit the road that evening, headed north along the Hume, towards a bigger town than ours, where people lived amongst the tombs built by progress and barren land. Me and that man misunderstood, you understand. We walked that city preaching on deaf ears and blinkered eyes. He told me not to worry, that our star was on the rise. Still I couldn't help but notice he was looking less than well, and though that thought set off alarm bells, I still managed to dispel it from my mind and take my stand beside that man misunderstood, you understand. But then the days had turned to months, and the weeks had turned to years, and all the rhetoric he spoke so well could not allay my fears that maybe after taking from me all that I had given, this man was just as lost as I, and if I could escape him, I'd celebrate every difference I had. To that man misunderstood, you understand. Yes, I had made my mind up, and in a hotel bar that evening, over one last glass of Carlton draft, I told him I was leaving. He said that I was foolish. We were closer now than brothers. We started into shouting, then we turned upon each other, and he fell there by my own hand. That man misunderstood, you understand. Well, it's been years now since the day I left. That man misunderstood, believing he and his philosophy were never any good. I walked alone amongst the bones of my own misspent life, until I began to wonder if the man might have been right and I was wrong on the day I ran from the man misunderstood, you understand. So this evening, when I saw you, it seemed like a twist of fate, and I thought perhaps with ample luck I might just set this straight. You had that hungry, burning arrogance, that youthful glow of health, that reminded me confrontingly of my much younger self. So I told you as I shook your hand, I'm a man misunderstood, you understand. Yes, I'm a man misunderstood, you understand.